Hey everyone, it is time for another video. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell so that you are informed each and every time I upload new content. So today, I don't know if it's obvious, but we are going to be doing a Paletteful Packs unboxing. This is the Paletteful Packs for the month of September. It got here late last week. It had some issues during shipment. It got delayed a couple of days, but it has finally made it here, and it is time to unbox this bad boy and see what we get inside this month. Hopefully it goes as well as the scroller box, because that was like the best one so far. Anyway, without any further ado, let's jump right in here and find out what's inside this month's box. All right, we have got what looks like a pencil sharpener. Oh geez. So right off the bat, we have got a pencil sharpener. Let's clear all our stringy bits out of the way. We're going to grab everything inside and then we'll go over the contents. Okay, so now that I have successfully thrown blue snaky things all over my studio, we've got everything unboxed here. So let's check out our menu. Koh-i-Noor Tritone multicolored pencils oh, look at these things. How neat is that? So it's got the colors of the different bits of lead in here, and so you can easily see what's in each pencil on the thing. And I guess this is some kind of gray. It's a blender. This is the blender. So awesome. Koh-i-Noor, am I saying that right? Blender. We got another one. So it comes with a blender in here and a blender here, which is a little redundant, isn't it? It says a blender comes in your 12 set, but we thought one extra blender could come in handy. Use the blender pencil to further smooth colors and create complex appearance. Okay, Strathmore 400 series Bristol paper. I love Bristol paper, so that's always a plus. That's nice and thick. 15 sheets of 9 by 12 2-ply Bristol paper. Oh, see, nice and thick. Those are huge, but okay. They always put the biggest pads in there and they barely fit in the box. Koh-i-Noor two-hole pencil sharpener. Does anybody else find when you get two holes, the pencils either are too big for the little hole or too small for the big one? Anyway, got a pencil sharpener. Art Alternatives pigment liner, set of 3. This is not a brand that I have used before, so we will give this a test. It comes in a 0.1, a 0.3, and a 0.5 millimeter. Micro nibs, acid-free, archival quality ink, water-based pigment, water, and fade proof. We will put that to the test. And then on the back we have our prompts and our challenges. So September prompts for week 1 are last, week 2 is old, week 3 is cozy, and week 4 is coffee. Old is the prompt for this week. See what we come up with. Okay, I'm going to get everything open and cut out a piece of this Bristol board and trim it down to a decent size, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I have trimmed down one of the pieces of paper. I cut it in half and then cut those halves down into little 4x6 sheets so that I had a nice little something to swatch on. First, I'm going to go ahead and get these out of the way. So these are our fine liner pens, and this is the 0.1. The barrels feel like a little bit bigger than, say, a micron, but they don't feel cheap at all, and it wrote well enough. Let's grab a micron real quick. So yeah, they're just a little bit thicker than a micron, but they write smooth enough. That's the 0.3 and the 0.5. So at least you get a nice variation in line widths. Let's look at them side by side. So yeah, there we have variation in line widths. And now for our colored pencils. So I'm just gonna swatch these out and see what kind of groovy colors we can get. So this one, the yellow is pretty subtle. You might see more of a drastic difference when we get to the ones that have, you know, different kinds of colors in them. This one has yellow and orange. It definitely makes those easy to blend together. This one is red, pink, and then yellow. That is very interesting. Alright, let's swatch out the rest of these. Okay, so this is all of them tested out, and I would want to say that they really sort of missed an opportunity to have a purple somewhere in here, because that is like one of the only colors that's really not represented at all. There's a blue with pink and gray over here, which can make a somewhat purple effect, but at the same time, not really. So one of these green sets, since these are really similar in tone, could have been replaced with something along the lines of a purple, and that would have been great. But now we're going to try out the blender. I have mixed the darker orange and the lighter orange sort of pencil, and we're going to go through and see what this blender does. So far it only looks like it's kicking up the actual colored pencil. It's smushing it down into the Bristol paper, but that's about it. Ooh. It makes it a little bit shiny. It's smushing it down into the paper. So as a finishing touch, I guess that could be really nice. Don't think I would need two of them though. Again, purple would have been great. All of my pencils are sharp right now, so I'm assuming that the pencil sharpener works like a pencil sharpener. It does. Alright, so I am getting very sort of landscapey vibes from this end of the color palette. Even the purple would be sort of with the blue hues, so I'm definitely seeing some sort of landscape. And because I'm not a big fan of pencils in general, or use colored pencils at all ever, I think I'm going to stick with this other 4x6 sort of piece of paper and do something small to not be too difficult on myself. So that's what we're going to do. I am going to maybe sketch out an idea and just thumbnail something on this paper so that we're not wasting all of this space, and then we'll jump in here and mark this out. I don't know how well I am going to fit into the prompts, because the prompt for this week is old. Maybe we could put an old tree in it, or an old something red because that's like the one color I'm not going to be using on the actual landscape. Old something red. Maybe I like a little old wagon up next to a tree or something. A little old wagon, something. Let's thumbnail. I'm going to grab a pencil, since it didn't come with like a regular sketch pencil. I'm going to grab a pencil and we will thumbnail. Okay, so right off the bat, what I'm thinking is sort of an old wagon. Boat wheels. And the little wheels up here. The little thing. Clearly, I need to look up what a wagon looks like, and for some reason, we're now looking this way at it. That's okay. Maybe instead of a tree, there's a fence. That'll provide us with the brown element to use that pencil. Alright, definitely need to look up what a wagon looks like. And then maybe we've got some leafy bits from a tree. over here. And hello, Mr. Sunshine. I think that fits the prompt for old. So as soon as I figure out what a wagon looks like, or we'll just make it this wagon. This looks wagonish. We will go in. I will sketch out my wagon scene. We may not be looking at it from this direction. We may just look at it head on instead of from up above it, but we'll get that perspective right in the actual sketch. So here we go. Alright, so here we have our little wagon scene, best as I can do anyway. So maybe the fence is old too. It's like an old-timey wagon, and there are a couple of trees here. We're going to have the sun coming in, and yeah, the little fence things are falling over because they're old too. So I am going to jump in here, and we're going to line this out with our pigment liners, and then start to color it in. So let's get going through that. Okay, so obviously this wagon is old. Look at that wheel. Just look at that wheel. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so here is our line art, and I guess the front two wheels are sort of hanging on to this wagon with hopes and dreams, because there's absolutely no other way that these things connect, and they couldn't connect via the top part of the wheel, otherwise the wheel wouldn't turn. Hey, maybe that's why it's broken down and just got left here in this field. Who knows? But anyway, this thing ain't going anywhere. So now I'm just going to jump straight into coloring, and I'm just going to time lapse you through me coloring it, because I have no idea what I'm doing with colored pencils. So we're just going to do our best to make this come out decent in the end, and I'm just going to play with some colored pencils. All right, let's get to it. Okay, y'all, so I'm going to call this little illustration sort of done. I probably could have spent a lot more time on this, but honestly, I don't have the patience for colored pencils, which I probably explained to you already in the voiceover. But it's not bad. It's cute. I like the overall theory behind the Tritone pencils. I think that you have a lot more capacity to blend these if you're new to colored pencils than someone who is sort of adept at colored pencils. I think that these are very even toned. I don't feel like there's any real deep dark colors versus light colors. I would appreciate some more neutrals in the bunch. I would definitely appreciate a purple, as is purple is my favorite color. But outside of that, I mean, they're nice pencils. They go down smoothly. They go down nice. So I can't complain about the actual quality of the pencils. It's just pencils aren't my thing. But here we have our prompt for old, which is the week 2 prompt in the Paletteful Packs thing. And so we've got an old wagon with an old fence and mysterious wheels that don't connect to it. So I don't know. Anyway, here are our swatches. So see, you get some nice little blended gradient sort of effects out of these that, you know, most people have to learn how to do with, you know, several colored pencils on top of each other. Like I said, I would just prefer some darker tones in there to really bring some contrast and some depth into the image, but outside of that, they're really nice pencils. I can't complain about the fine liners. They did what they were supposed to do. They went down, they stayed down, and that was the end of that. I'm not sure that I know how to use this blender. So if you know how to use the blender, let me know down in the comments. I may have already said that already, but yeah, definitely. Am I supposed to use it as I go, as a burnisher, sort of to blend it after the fact? What am I supposed to do with this thing? If you use colored pencils, definitely let me know. Alright, so that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure that you smash that little subscription button down at the bottom along with the notification bell so you're informed each and every time I upload new content. I've got some new and exciting and traditional things coming for you very soon, and we're going to start filling up my new sketchbook. I will link that video in the cards where I decorate the cover of it in case you haven't seen that already. Alright, I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much again for watching. Bye. Shameless plug real quick. Let's check out the actual Kickstarter, which you have 1 week. Today is the 11th. It is 9/11, and we have 1.5 more weeks on a creature Kickstarter. So if you want to check that out, I would appreciate it if you just give it a view and a share, even if you cannot pledge. So that helps get more eyes on it, and I would really appreciate it. It would mean the world to me. So they are all Halloween creature type enamel pins over on Kickstarter, which I will link in the description box below, as well as having it right here. Alright, I love your faces, and shameless plug over. Alright, I want to say thank you real quick to each and every one of my patrons who make bringing you videos each and every week a possibility. So without their support, I would not be able to bring you as much content as I do. If you want exclusive coloring pages, line art, prints, and things like that, definitely check out my Patreon link. It is always in the description box below.